Gotta rank 'em all, Pokemon.
Welcome to Spelunkers, a place for exploring video games and nerd culture. I'm Ryan, and this is Gotta Rank 'em All, the Pokemon ranking show where Chris
I swear this is a different hat than last week.
and myself get a guest every episode, randomize a list of 20 Pokemon, and put them in the most officially arbitrary list of all time. Our wonderful guest for this episode is the very handsome Alex.
Hi, everybody.
Thanks so much for coming on the show, dude.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm really excited. It's not often I get to talk a lot about Pokemon.
That's why we wanted to do this show. I think we all just wanted to talk about Pokemon more.
Exactly.
Right.
Why don't you let the lovely listeners know your history with Pokemon so they understand like where you're coming at with your picks for this evening?
Okay. I've been a fan of Pokemon since I was 6 years old. Got red and blue on that Christmas morning in 90, was it 95 or 96? But yeah, played them from the very start, fell in love with them. Got Gen 2, Gold and Silver, my favorite in the series, hands down. Pokemon Silver is probably one of my favorite games of all time. And have tried to stick with the series throughout. I did fall off a little bit. I feel like after Leaf Green, Fire Red and Leaf Green, there was definitely that period of time where I didn't really get too involved in the series. I think I played Diamond and Pearl. Maybe I might have done that. But it wasn't until X and Y that I hopped back on the Pokemon train in a big way and haven't missed a release since. I think the only ones I haven't played are the Ruby and Sapphire remakes, just because I didn't have any huge attachment to those games since I never played them in the first place. And Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, because I'm not going to play the same game twice. But other than that, I do love Pokemon. I think especially the older stuff, Gen 2, which is obviously my favorite, but I think a lot of my perspective is going to come down to me being an old man and not knowing who half of these Pokemon are.
Get off my lawn.
Get out of my Pokeball.
Well, fantastic. I guess it's not exactly Gen 2, but it's kind of Gen 2. It's Gen 2 in spirit, as our first pick to rank for this evening is Mega Steelix.
So metal. So
very.
He's very cool looking. I mean, normal Steelix is already cool looking. This guy's got like some extra jaw now. I mean, that's what you want in your life. It's just more jaw.
So he's got crystals coming off his back.
I was going to say, the crystals give him like a fairy type look almost.
Mm-hmm. And some like very nice coloring, because plain Steelix is a little bland, could be, but adding that little bit of yellow and red and blue throughout those crystals.
I really dig the look of this Steelix. I think, given the list, he's already winning a lot of points for me just for being a Gen 2 Pokemon, but yeah, the extra color added to him, like the blue highlights, and the circular floating rocks around him, make it seem like he'd be really cool looking in motion as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe that's why there aren't megas in the newer games, because the last game, the only game that had megas was X and Y. Was that 3D? I don't remember if X and Y was 3D.
Yeah,
3D.
It was.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Well, I wonder what this guy's like in motion then. Apparently, it's out there.
But every time a Mega Evolution was on screen, the frame rate dipped.
Poor 3DS.
Yeah, it was doing its best. I don't know. He's ranking in somewhere, like, he's got like Gyarados energy to me. You know what I mean? Like in that kind of cool, where it's just like, oh, it's a cool floating crystal metal dragon. He's just got that kind of look to him for me.
Is he still steel and rock, right? That's Steelix's type, or steel and ground?
Steelix is steel and ground, yeah. I doesn't show a difference for the Mega, so I'm going to assume that it's the same. Yeah. I like the which Pokedex entry is it? Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Steelix lives even further underground than Onix. This Pokemon is known to dig towards the Earth's core. Records of this Pokemon reaching a depth of over 6/10 of a mile underground. So over half a mile, which is 3,000-ish feet quite deep in the crust.
Just hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
Literally an earthworm.
Not chilling.
Not chilling, no.
Getting toasty down there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like where you're looking, like around the Gyarados territory. That's where a lot of our Gigantamaxes have ended up. He's definitely better than Gigantamax Melmetal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do we all agree he's worse than Gigantamax Orbeetle? That's the big spaceship guy.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's right. He's like a giant bug UFO.
And he's definitely not cooler than Machamp to me.
Okay.
If that's
Okay.
I think he's definitely in like Gigantamax Butterfree area because I personally have like a soft spot for Gigantamax Butterfree just because I feel like that's the first one you really get in Sword and Shield that you like get on your own. So I just kind of have like a soft spot for that, but he's definitely not cooler than Machamp or Gyarados, but he's definitely right in that little area. Coolest.
Right. Do we think it's more metal to have a Pokemon that's actually metal or one that's a punk rocker?
Oh, is that the Obstagoon?
Obstagoon is the Kiss tribute Pokemon.
Yeah, he's kind of a dork. Can't even speak English. I think I think squeezing him in between those two would probably be a good spot for him.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, cool.
All right. Fantastic, great showing.
26.
26. That's a great showing. I mean, top quarter of this list.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good job, Mega Steelix. Next up on the list, another Gen 2 Pokemon because the Science Machine just knew we were having Alex on.
Yes.
Magcargo, which is the lava snail.
The best Gen 2 Pokemon, clearly.
I love him. He's just sitting there melting. It's great.
It's pretty good. Just looking up at you like, sure is hot.
He feels like the Magmar of Gen 2 in that he's not like a super good Pokemon, but he's that like tougher fire Pokemon that you encounter when you're like 5-6 badges in, like not all the way there yet. But you're definitely you know you're getting nearer to the end game. It feels like he's definitely one of those upper tier Pokemon in that regard.
Yeah, for sure.
Always going water starter. This guy was always just a chump. Like just where rock fire is such a bad typing. It's not. I mean, he's incredibly weak to both earth and water, ground and water.
Mm-hmm. That's unfortunate. But my goodness, this Sapphire Pokedex entry, Magcargo's body temperature is approximately 18,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Water is vaporized on contact. If this Pokemon is caught in the rain, raindrops instantly turn into steam, cloaking the area in a thick fog.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
18,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That is a ridiculous temperature.
They could stick this guy in a horror game.
I was gonna say, so I can't hug him, is what you're saying.
That is nearly 10,000 Celsius for any non-American. Yeah. I don't even know, like, what to think about. Like, what else is that hot? Like,
that's alive? Nothing.
Fair point.
I really like his design just because it's so, the face is so goofy looking. Like the rest of it's nothing super out there to me, but it's just the goofy looking face and the blank expression that he has. I do like the idea of like a snail being like a fire type and being obviously not got good speed, but just super slow. But his design is very I like it, but it's very middle of the road to me. Like it's not the best design, but by far not one of the worst designs either. Just more unfortunately for him, especially being in Gen 2, just more forgettable from a gen that has a lot of very memorable designs.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. Above average, but not standout.
Yeah, absolutely.
What should we compare him to on the list here? The first thing that jumps out to me is Croconaw, but Croconaw's not so much better, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not even sure exactly what to...
Another Gen 2 Bellossom.
I like Magcargo more than Bellossom.
Yeah.
I disagree, but I'll cede to the room.
I don't like him more than, like, Pidgeotto or Croagunk.
I was going to say the same thing.
I disagree on that Carnivine placement, but, you know, hey, it's not my show, so...
You think he's too high or too low?
Oh, too high. Too high. I mean...
But in the show, he repeatedly eats James of Team Rocket every time he sends him out, and it's a great bit. That's mostly why he's up there.
I mean, he's more in, like, the... Magcargo is more in, like, the Kling Clang area for me. Or, like, Kling Clang is also, like, oh, that's a neat design, but...
Yeah, I can see that.
Nothing to write home about, I guess.
Because I did peek at Fletchinder, thinking about Magcargo.
Mm-hmm.
How'd Bellossom get that high up?
Because it's awesome. It's adorable. That's exact. How did Meganium get so low?
Because it's Meganium.
Getting off track.
Let's see. So we were feeling above Bellossom and below Pidgeotto, maybe?
Well, Alex brings up Kling Clang, and I see the connection.
I can't in good conscience, being a goth kid at heart, put a snail over a Ghastly. I don't think I could do it.
The Pokemon that blows away with a stiff fart.
Yeah.
Don't get Mega Gengar without a Ghastly. I'm just saying.
Who is Stenny again?
Stenny.
I don't know. We probably just ranked it last week, and I don't remember.
It's the little pirouette grass type.
Oh yeah, very forgettable middle evolution.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, he's actually kind of in the area of like Granbull for me. Also, another Pokemon where I'm like, that's a cool design, but when I think of Gen 2, I don't go, oh man, Granbull.
I definitely above Cacturn, I think.
Yeah, I think the mascot for designs like that to me is Miltank, where it's like that's a good design, but when I break out Silver, I don't immediately think of like that.
No, I immediately do think of that because Whitney.
Well, that's
Roll out, man.
I mean, if Magcargo were also at a super tough boss fight.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think in that area, around like the Meganium and Granbull and Cacturn.
Okay, I'm feeling below Granbull, above Cacturn.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking as well.
I'm good with that. That looks great.
Let's do it.
You moved around a lot, Magcargo, but that's a decent showing.
A lot of movement for a snail.
All right, next up on the list, very much not a snail, but another fire type. Mega Houndoom.
Is this Hades?
This is Hades if the game was all dogs.
This is Hades, then it's number 1. Because that's one of the greatest games ever made. End of discussion.
And Houndoom was in Gold and Silver, one of the greatest games ever made. So.
Yeah, it's weird we got 2 megas of Gold and Silver Pokemon very early here.
So he's dark and fire, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
That would be correct, sir.
My first exposure to how strong Crunch can be.
Oh, we do have specific Mega Pokedex entries. Sun, its red claws and the tips of its tail are melting from high internal temperatures that are painful to Houndoom itself. Moon, Houndoom's entire body generates heat when it Mega evolves. Its fearsome fiery breath turns its opponents to ash, which is a lot of fire. Do any of these say a temperature number, even on the non-Mega form? No, they don't. That's unfortunate.
Okay, so what I'm hearing... what I'm hearing is this guy is so powerful that when he Mega evolves, it's like going Super Saiyan. If Goku's going Super Saiyan caused him incredible pain because the power was trying to escape him. So he's cooler than Goku, is where we're going.
I didn't say that, folks. Write your hate mail to Chris. But I agree, so write it to me as well.
I mean, Goku, yeah, nobody's cooler than Dragon Ball Goku. But, my initial feeling is like, wow, that's a cool design. But the more I look at it, and feel free to go after me for this, it feels like a try-hard version of Houndoom. Like, just lots of spikes, like trying really hard to be metal, and it's just, I don't know. He doesn't look too much unlike Houndoom. He just looks like his spikes got bigger.
He put the armor on.
Yeah.
They put on some armor. His claws turned red.
There's definitely difference in the facial markings. They're much more pointed, and then you've got the extra points around the jaw.
Yeah, he looks very fiendish. Like, just even without, like, the horns or anything, just his face looks more
like,
evil.
This is a pet that someone in the Nazgul would have, right? Like,
what's the shield Pokemon legendary on the cover?
Zamazenta?
Or was it Zamazenta? He looks like Zamazenta if he was really in a Motorhead. That's what I'm getting from this.
I hate the way Zamazenta looks, so I think this is better than that. But
oh yeah, for sure.
But I see what you're saying. Yeah, there's a lot of like white kind of covering the front of the Pokemon.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm like. What's cooling me on him is he's really bulky on the front, and like a lot of armor on the front, but nothing really going on the rest of his body. So it seems very top
Maybe
heavy.
We just need a different angle.
Let me see. Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah. Here's one. I didn't realize exactly how much those front tusks kind of jutted forward. I think that kind of profile view, and the spinal bones at the base of the tail. Yeah, I dig that.
Well, if I'm my gut reaction is placement wise, I want to put him with Pokemon that remind me of metal bands, and I feel like he would call Obstagoon a poser. Like he wouldn't even stand to be around that kind of Pokemon. I'm trying to think of where I mean, that's really high up. I'm personally, I think I'm just kind of cold on a Houndoom as a Pokemon. So
you get him so late. That's the problem. Like, Houndoom always seems so appealing every time I start a Gen 2 run. I'm like, oh man, I'll catch a Houndoom as my fire type for once maybe. I won't take a Cyndaquil, which is against my religion.
Why would you do that?
But then you don't get a Houndour until you're in the Kanto region. So...
Really? I didn't remember that.
It's between Saffron and one other city, if I remember correctly. I don't think you can actually catch them in the Johto area. You've got to like complete that section of the game and then go get it. Am I incorrect, Alex?
I don't remember. If I'm gonna be honest with you,
that's fair.
But I definitely remember the feeling of like by the time I got one, my team was already so good that it was like this would have been more useful like 10 hours ago. You know,
because so cool. Like Houndour, Houndoom. Who doesn't want a demon dog on their Pokemon team?
Right. He would be more useful if you could get him earlier, because then it would grow with your team. But instead, you end up getting those late game Pokemon seem to really not want to fit in your team. Because I'm having that problem a lot in Sword and Shield, where I'll see some late game Pokemon and be like, that's so cool, but it's like, all right, well, you're already like level 50, so it's not fun to train you up because you're already trained up. And
I'm invested with this crew that I've had for 10 hours. I love these Mons. I've watched them evolve. We've gotten gym badges together. Like
exactly.
I still think this is a good design. I'm looking.
Oh yeah, design wise, he's great. Better than Watchog, that's for sure.
Where's Watchog?
He's 81, and I'm looking in like the 60s to 80s kind of area, but
I was looking a little higher. You know what I just saw at number 43, and I realized I like that more than I like Mega Houndoom is Swampert. So it's not going above 43 in my heart. I will listen to arguments.
I mean, I don't have a huge attachment to Mega Swamp, or not Mega Swampert. There is a Mega Swampert, I think, isn't there? But Mega Houndoom, I don't have like a huge attachment to. I mean, base Houndoom, I think I like more, honestly. So I'm okay with Mega Houndoom going lower. I like Manectric more than Mega Houndoom, or regular Houndoom even, I guess.
Yeah, that's a better dog.
It's one of those things where less is more for this Pokemon.
Yeah, Houndoom is a simpler mon that's... I keep finding myself just looking at that picture instead of Mega Houndoom's picture on Bulbapedia.
I can't let him go above Kadabra or Bulbasaur.
Okay. You know, at that point, I don't want him above Fire Poop. I think Fire Poop's better than Demon Dog.
Okay.
I'd be alright with him being... Oh, man, but then there's Elekid, who's also awesome. This one's tough. It's a tough one. I could see him be... I mean, you know, around that Pidgeotto, Bellossom area. He is cool, but you're right. It's just an unfortunate case of, like, I'd still prefer his regular version.
I would put him over Pidgeotto, personally.
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool with that, too.
Alright, Mega Houndoom, number 53.
Fantastic. Cool. Next on the list, a Pokemon I know our guest is very excited to talk about. Frostmoth. Yes.
Fantastic. Amazing Pokemon. Evolves from this perfect creature that I have right here. One of the best Pokemon of all time. Oh my god, Frostmoth is great. And I didn't know that Frostmoth existed until like a week ago. But it's fantastic. I love the design. I've been replaying Sword and Shield, and my Snom was like level 60. Only knew 3 moves. And he was in my party. You know, I had like Tyranitar, Whale Lord, Gengar, and Snom. But I didn't realize that, like, I didn't realize that he evolved, so I was like, I'm just going to keep my tiny baby with me. But I didn't realize that he evolves with friendship, but it has to be at night. So yeah. I definitely had the friendship thing down, but I never played that game past 7 p.m., so... And then it evolved, and I was like, what the hell? But now I've got like a level 70-something Frostmoth on my team, and it is a nightmare for Dragon Pokemon, let me tell you. Really? It learns Fairy moves and Ice moves, so it just wrecks shop with them. And it's also really cool because it's the bottom of its wings there. You can't really see it in this picture, but they slowly have a gradient where they get like transparent. And they look really cool when it's floating.
I do like this design. It's got like a nice puffy scarf on.
Yeah, and I can't tell if it's its arms or anything because they're very clearly just like hugging itself with it.
Yeah,
it gives me Ice Mothra vibes.
Yeah, I like the design. Like, I always looked at it as like the ice version of Volcarona, which was actually I think a legendary, which this is not. But but it like it looks way better than Volcarona for sure. I will say, I don't know if this is just because of this image, because you said his wings are normally kind of transparent, or its wings are usually kind of transparent, but that weird sparky symbol on its wings gives me Walmart Spark vibes, and as a Walmart employee, I hate that so much.
I think one thing that the later gens have really nailed is the design of Ice-type Pokemon. Like, they've always really stood out to me a lot, especially like the redesigned, or not redesigned, but is it Galarian Sandslash, or was it a Alolan Sandslash?
Alolan.
Yeah. And the Ice Ninetales as well. Like those redesigns and their Ice Pokemon have really been striking in the later series. Yeah. And I like this one because it's an original Pokemon, not just, you know, a regional form.
I think they realized like how much work white can do for them in the color palette of an ice Pokemon. Like, don't be afraid to just leave it kind of colorless, right? Because if you actually look at real life animals that live in the tundra like that, They're very white. You know?
Yes. I'd like to know where you guys think it should be placed, because I don't want to let my strong feelings push anything.
So I like the sword Pokedex entry here. Icy scales fall from its wings like snow as it flies over fields and mountains. The temperature of its wings is less than negative 290 Fahrenheit. So it's extremely cold. This is a Pokemon I want to use. I was just talking about before the show, I kind of want to do a bug team in Sword and Shield, and this is a prime candidate. Having an ice type in there would be wonderful. I do like the design. Its stats are decent. They're not like legendary stats, but it's got 125 special attack. Nothing's lower than 60, so it's pretty moderate across the board.
If you dare to evolve it in the first place, because it's a really tough decision to make.
Snom just carries that dagger around, man.
Snom is my favorite just because if you go to the camp and you have a Snom, you know how your Pokemon run around and everything, right? Well, he is so slow because the bug. But when he runs, he goes like this fast, but he'll still kick up that big cloud of dirt behind him.
That sounds pretty great.
Yeah, it was the best. Yeah, I like the shield entry as well, where it says that it shows no mercy to any who desecrate fields and mountains, which is again very much leans into that Mothra vibe of like defender of the earth.
Causing a blizzard to chase offenders away, even.
Yes.
That's intense.
How dare you desecrate the earth? I will cause a natural disaster to get you away.
Okay, I like the environmentalist angle.
Decently high, honestly. I'm trying to find the only bug Pokemon roughly where I'm looking is Gigantamax Orbeetle. Which I do think I like Gigantamax Orbeetle a little bit more. It's a giant UFO ladybug.
Yeah.
It's Gigantamax Butterfree's up there too. That's right.
Yeah.
I can't believe I skipped right over that a few times.
Personally, I like Gigantamax Butterfree more as well.
I do think Gigantamax Butterfree wins out a touch.
I'm still looking at Obstagoon because it's just such a dork. I mean, I personally was already wanting to be like, all right, well, got to put him above Sneasel, but I'm not, I got to pick and choose my battles here. So, I'm looking at that Obstagoon area.
Okay,
I'd actually be okay with right below Butterfree.
Okay,
I think.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that too.
All right.
Victory for Stomp fans.
Frostmoth. I'm sorry, I don't think I've ever even seen this thing outside of pictures. I don't know.
Right, because why would anybody evolve a Snom? There's no reason.
And who would figure out that it's with friendship at night when you want to?
That's the weirdest part, is the nighttime.
This is an Umbreon. From one ice type to another, where designs for ice types were maybe a little more questionable. Snorunt.
Whoa, we hate Snorunt here?
I don't hate him, but I like Frostmoth considerably more.
Hold on, listen to this. This is gonna blow your mind. He's a runt in the snow. That's his name. Did you catch that?
Oh, I did. Did you catch where I already want him to be in the hundreds?
Wow.
Wow, that's one of 7 slots.
He is adorable. I hate his evolution. Well, actually, Frostlass I like a lot, but isn't that from this?
Frostlass is cool. Yeah,
but I don't like Glacially or whatever the hell the thing's called. I don't remember.
Glalie. No, Glalie is the final evolution. Oh no, the other being Frostlass. Frostlass doesn't. Okay,
Frostlass
it's a
was
gen.
Introduced a gen later.
4. Okay, that's why.
But what a price you have to pay to get it. Are you making him shiver? Because that's
exactly what I'm doing.
Also, if he's a runt in the snow, wouldn't they want to be wearing more than just a hat to keep themselves warm? It's just a
or
big
its own
hat.
skin. Because I mean, what even is this? It's just wearing its own body, wishing that it were warmer.
Yeah, I think the thing might be like a what did the Pokedex entries say? Because that does look like a coat that he's pulling over himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The Snowrunt live in regions with heavy snowfall. Survive by eating only ice and snow. Old folklore claims that a house visited by this Pokemon is sure to prosper for many generations to come. I do kind of like that. That's in Sapphire. I'm kind of mixing a bunch together here. It can withstand cold of minus 150 Fahrenheit, which is pretty cold.
The Ultra Moon entry is very strange.
Rich people from cold areas all share childhood memories of playing with Snowrunt. Well, I guess that points to that, a home visited by Snowrunt will prosper, right?
Poor people
Just a
don't
weird
play with Snowrunt. Only
Just
rich
a weird way
folk
to put it. Yeah.
at their ski resorts.
All right. Well, Chris, I'm curious. As a big Snowrunt fan, where would you put this?
Offensively high to you guys, clearly.
I'm just curious.
Let's see. I'd probably put him in like. No, I like that better. I put him in like Togepi territory. 58.
58. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not hard to beat Bellsprout.
How about Elekid? I know that's a pick that's constantly talked about.
What is Matang? Is that a...
Matang is the middle evolution of Beldum and Metagross, which is that giant steel psychic type in Gen 3 you kind of get near the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
At first, it's just like a floating thing with 3 claws on its butt. A little eyeball.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get those middle gens. I could be all right with Snowrunt going in that area. He's growing on me. You know, he's just a little cold little guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
He's
like his
rather
elitist
striking
attitude.
at first.
Only helping rich people have prosperous homes. Pretty fucked up, but
Rich get richer.
I think that's just a bad way of describing the.
Snowrun assists with gentrification.
I like above Bellsprout, below Togepi.
I'm fine with that.
I'm okay with that.
Excellent.
See, Chris, we can be reasoned with. Let's see who wants to reason with us on this next pick. Diancie. Diancie?
Never seen this thing in the games.
I've never seen this thing in my life.
Was this one of the legendaries that was like added after the fact to one of the newer games?
This is an event Pokemon for X and Y and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I have heard of this Pokemon. I've heard of Diancie before doing this show, but I've never seen one.
Yeah, that's like in the same breath as what the hell is that thing's name? Hoopla or some crap like that. The weird Hoopla.
Yeah, I remember that thing. Yeah, I don't know anything about this.
So yeah, we know nothing, but we have a picture and we have some descriptions, right?
Very tight. Put it down. Kidding. Let's see. What do we got for Pokedex Energy? There's just a few. A sudden transformation of Carbink. Oh, interesting. Its pink glimmering body is said to be the loveliest sight in the whole world. It can create diamonds by compressing the carbon in the air between its hands.
That's pretty cool.
That is extremely cool and could end the blood diamond trade.
I also like that it apparently transforms from Carbine. I wish it was just, or Carbink. I wish it was just the evolution of Carbink normally in the game, because Carbink sucks.
Yeah, Carbink could use an evolution. Rock Fairy type, as much as Fairy type kind of goes against everything I believe in.
So this is a rock and fairy type. That's weird.
Great defense, 150 special and non-special defense. So very tanky. 100 attack, 100 special attack, 50 speed, 50 health.
Okay, that's a very good stat line for sure.
It learns moves all the way up until level 91.
Wow.
Oh,
and it learns a move called Diamond Storm, which sounds so metal.
It does. I want to read what this does. Oh my god, the pictures look great.
So I'm glad that it clarifies this. Diamond Storm deals damage. Thanks, Bulbapedia.
The user whips up a storm of diamonds to damage opposing Pokemon. It may also raise the user's defense stat. That's for XY and Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. They upgraded it for all later games where it can sharply raise the user's defense stat. Okay. So that's a good move because it hits. It's a 95 accuracy, 100 power.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
only
good.
5 PP though.
Yeah, you can get it to 8 with some PP ups.
Yeah.
I never stop giggling when I hear PP up. I'm so sorry.
It's fair. It's fair. It's hard to fight the giggles myself.
It's just I've never seen a Pokemon keep learning moves that late in their
91 is
levels. That's up there.
Yeah, that's absurd. I like that this Pokemon's got like crystals from Crash Bandicoot for hair there, and then like a gem from Crash Bandicoot on the top of its head.
Yes.
So that's major points in my mind.
Oh, it's got the Phantom Ruby from Sonic Forces on its chest.
Everybody's familiar with that one.
Yeah. You know.
Yes, Sonic.
But I don't know. I like its design. The only thing I don't like is the literal rock that it's sticking out of. That, like, I love everything from the waist up, but the fact that it's just a giant boulder for its lower body is just very strange.
I'm getting some vibes here, and let's see where we think about Blissey area 49.
Yeah, actually, yeah. That design-wise, especially, that's definitely where I would put it, because it feels like it's Blissey feels like Chansey was a very iconic design, and Blissey feels like you just added a little bit to it, and it feels like it was all right, let's tone it down a bit so we can get to Chansey. Like, it feels like it was a concept art for Chansey, and this feels like it's a concept art for a Pokemon that needs to tone it down just a little bit, and then it'd be like really cool.
Yeah, I like it over Blissey, below Stuffle, but I'm a big Stuffle stan.
What is Stuffle? Is that the bear?
That is the baby version of Pedo Bear.
Yeah. Wait, what?
What? Look at Beware, his evolution.
What show is
It's not Pedo Bear. It's not Pedo Bear.
That is all I see when I see Beware. I swear to God.
Trying to besmirch its name. It's not even up yet. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Above Blissey is fine with me.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Excellent.
All right. Let's see what happens on this next pick. So I think I've mentioned before that in my first Shield run, I dumped my starter.
We all did.
No, it's the first time I've ever dumped a starter in any Pokemon game. And I started with Grookey, and we're ranking Gigantamax Rillaboom.
This Gigantamax form rules so hard.
He's just a badass drummer, dude.
It's fantastic.
This form rocks, literally.
He's literally using vines to hold drumsticks. It's fantastic. And I'll admit that I'm also pretty cool on Rillaboom. Like, not really a fan. I liked Grookey and its middle evolution, but when it became Rillaboom, I was like, oh, really that? All right.
It's fine.
But its Gigantamax form rules.
Yeah, Gigantamax is... I really like the Shield entry for the Gigantamax version here. Rillaboom has become one with its forest set of drums and continues to lay down beats that shake all of Galar.
Lay down beats. Yeah, I think all the... excuse me. The last evolutions of that gen were pretty weak, but they got really good Gigantamax forms.
I was just gonna say, yeah, like, I'm not really a fan of any of them, their last forms, but their Gigantamax forms are probably some of the most creative in the game to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say those wooden symbols are not going to make the noises he thinks they are.
If I hit them hard enough, they will.
I just love it. I like how he's on. Like he's not even bigger. Like it looks like he's just the same size Rillaboom. It's just his drum set gets enormous.
Yeah. All the Gigantamax energy went into his drum stump, and
It really. Oh, yeah. I like that.
All right. We're gonna say Obstagoon again because it's another rock Pokemon.
Above Obstagoon for sure.
I like this more than Obstagoon.
I'd put him above Mega Steelix. Yeah. I said it.
I think I'd put him above Frostmoth.
I would also put him above Frostmoth. I know Alex.
I'm sorry, Alex. I know those words hurt.
I'd go above Butterfree as well. I think Gigantamax Butterfree is a really cool design, but it's not particularly like super different than regular Butterfree. It just has really big wings. I think this is more unique.
Yeah. It's not wielding giant Dr. Octopus vines to play drums. Cool.
And neither is Meloetta, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd go above Meloetta too. That's another music Pokemon. Interesting. There's so many music Pokemon.
I can't like. It's also hard with these Gigantamax Pokemon because they're so like extravagant and huge, right?
Yeah.
Like all these other Pokemon that we're comparing it to just feel so literally so small in comparison. So it's really tough to measure that. But when we hit this wall of me seeing Gyarados and Machamp, those are just such iconic Pokemon that it's hard for me to want to put anything above them.
I think that's fair. I think I would go below Gyarados, but above Machamp, personally.
I think I'd land there as well.
Yeah, I can be all right with that.
And split the
it takes
duo up.
This Pokemon being a Gigantamax to even have to be in that discussion.
Let's be honest. Regular Rillaboom's down somewhere like around.
Oh my gosh! The only redeeming thing about him is the mullet. Not a fan of that one.
Next up, someone who has let their mullet grow far too long. Tangrowth.
Ugh. I'm just gonna say it. Just the worst.
I don't like it at all. I already didn't like Tangela. It's like Tangela desperately needed an evolution to be cooler, but then it got an evolution. It's like, what if we made it worse?
Yeah, what if we made more of the Tangela and gave it weird arms? They're made out of Sour Patch Kids or something. I don't know.
I do think I like this more than Bruxish, though.
Oh yeah, Bruxish is a disaster. If you've not seen that, Alex, look up a picture.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were doing.
That's a pretty hard line Pokemon.
Bruxish looks like that thing where like people let their like 5-year-old draw something and then a professional artist renders it.
It does look like that.
Yes. Oh my god, that's exactly what that looks like.
All right, so he's not as heinous as Bruxish. I'll say that. Yeah, below Aromatisse though.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Fine with that.
Wait, do we have any interesting Pokedex entries? Just to be fair,
Aromatisse just has more, at least has like character to it. You know what I mean? This thing is just.
It ensnares prey by extending arms made of vines. Losing arms to predators does not trouble it. The vines grow so profusely that in warm season you can't even see its eyes.
That's gross.
It's an overgrown weed. All right. Sorry, Tangrowth. Maybe next time your designer won't hate you. Next up on the list, another Gen 2. Alex, this list really knows us.
Look at
Mantine. Mantine?
I say Mantine.
Yeah, I say Mantine. Manatee-tine. I don't know.
Yeah,
definitely it has to go above Remoraid because he has Remoraid with him.
Oh, absolutely.
Remoraid's very low, so I think we're going even higher than that.
Yeah.
But
I like this. Okay, so let me see if there's any Pokedex entries here that are
just a great water Pokemon design though. Like where it feels like it's clearly based off a real thing, but just has that nice Pokemon art style to make it simple looking.
Smile.
Yeah, adorable.
Always a little smile on the face.
Between the last episode and this episode, I finally got my copy of new Pokemon Snap. And these things are everywhere in one of those water levels. Like, there's like 3 of them in a circle, like having a conversation, like they're chilling after work. It's great.
I love it.
That's fantastic. Black and White 2 and X make mention of the fact that if it builds up enough swimming speed, it can fly over 300 feet out of the water from the surface of the ocean.
Pretty great.
That's a football field.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good chunk of distance for a fish to fly. All right, so the initial point I was going to bring up, where are our Pokemon that are... Oh, this is just a... Okay, it's just above Remoraid there. I think I like it a little bit more than that, though.
Yeah, I mean, it is just like a... What is it, a stingray? Is that the animal?
Stingray, man... Yeah.
But it's got a little fish that lives under its wing, which is cool. It can jump 300 feet. And apparently they have little communities and they talk to each other, which is adorable.
And yeah, they talk to each other after doing tricks for you.
Yeah.
I like it better than I keep seeing Matang and it just I hate that name. I hate that name so much. Yeah, I kind of like it in like the Blossom, Pidgeotto, like Ghastly, Togepi, like that little grouping.
Okay with that. Maybe like just below Togepi?
Yeah, Togepi's just got that secondary mascot cuteness to it.
Yep, I'm okay with that. Sounds great.
All right. New number 61. Good job, Mantine.
Oh. Caps lock.
You go fly off for your dreams. Next up on the list, another sea Pokemon.
What is
Goribus. This is a Gen 3 Pokemon when we had too much water, 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's a valid complaint if I have to see this thing.
It's so weird. It's like supposed to be kind of mermaidy. It's got like the shells where it's.
I was just gonna say, why does it have?
What is that?
Why does it have the seashell bra? It's so weird.
You know, I didn't really notice that until you said something.
It's so bizarre.
Why is this? Why does it have gore in its name? Its name is a combination of gore and abyss. That sounds like something that would be
more badass.
Right. And it's this thing.
I guess it's got kind of a spiky head, right? It's supposed to be like a sea snake, right? There's another one, like, they both evolved from Clamperl, this one and Huntail. Huntail's definitely the cooler looking of the two.
Well, I know why they added gore into its name. Sapphire Pokedex entry. Although Goribus is the very picture of elegance and beauty while swimming, it is also cruel. When it spots prey, this Pokemon inserts its thin mouth into the prey's body and drains the prey of its bodily fluids.
Ugh.
So it's like a mermaid, but also a vampire.
Yes.
What's that? Oh god, succubus. It's like a succubus. Very attractive
literally.
Until it murders you.
All right, but it's still... I'm looking at Lumineon, honestly, as a starting comparison.
I'd say I'd put this above Lumineon. Because Lumineon is just a fish. At least this is mildly interesting.
That's true.
I'm okay with it being right there, honestly, because I also really dig Sawsbuck. I think that's a really cool looking Pokemon. I know it's kind of lower on this list, but it's got way more going for it in the design department than this snake with a clam bra.
I don't know why
I think just
take that off.
We did like Sawsbuck, but I think his designs are smart, but didn't necessarily go far enough or in a full enough direction with that. They could have embellished him a little bit more, but I do like Sawsbuck.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it very much looks like if you were like, what if a deer were a Pokemon? that's pretty much
in
it.
Seasons.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Sorry, Goribus. Get a better name. Next up on the list, a Pokemon I have used and like quite a bit.
Yeah.
even though I have talked crap on centipedes in this podcast before, Scorch.
This Pokemon rules.
Yeah,
he
it's pretty
looks
good.
super cool. I've never used him because I've only played through Sword and Shield once. He's Sword and Shield, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's correct. Very good.
Yeah, his the raid battles early in the game where you have to try and catch the Gigantamax version of. Well, you can encounter either the Gigantamax or just the regular Dynamax version, but it never mattered because he kicked my butt every single time.
Yeah. Yeah, very strong. I mean, 100 health, 115 attack, 90 special attack, 90 special defense, moderate speed at 65. So if he's over leveling you a little bit, he's probably got you on that speed. Physical defense at 65 is really the only. But I don't know. I guess some of the water stuff's physical.
For a bug type, that's just crazy stats.
Very strong.
And I love his design. I love that it's like almost like a mixture of like Chinese and Japanese like dragon, but he's a bug. Especially, I know we're not talking about this here, but his Gigantamax form is very much just a dragon, but he's a bug.
Yeah. And there's also something like unrolling scroll about that Gigantamax form that I kind of like.
And I really like that he's got like, I know it's not quite the same thing, but the Fire Blast from the original Red and Blue. I love that that's what his face looks like.
For sure. Yeah, I see that.
Definitely.
Yeah, I like his look a lot. We have any entries to read from?
Yeah. Sword, when it heats up... Wow, I can't read. When it heats up, its body temperature reaches about 1500 degrees Fahrenheit. It lashes its body like a whip and launches itself at enemies, shield. While its burning body is already dangerous on its own, this excessively hostile Pokemon also has large and very sharp fangs.
And that's ironically one of his moves he learns is Fire Lash.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a monster to me, especially because you really encounter these early in Sword and Shield. So he's just a great Pokemon, like one of those first great ones to add to your team. If you can get one, because they
can be.
They're very much a pain in the butt to get.
Yeah, they certainly can be.
So we've got a fair number of bugs actually pretty high on the list here. Comparing them to Frostmoth, Gigantamax Butterfree, Gigantamax Orbeetle.
I'll be a little controversial here. I like him better than Pokemon like Gyarados.
Ooh.
Especially, I know he's a newer one. He's a Sword and Shield Pokemon, but he's just got such a cool design to me.
I think I like this thing more than I like Talonflame.
I disagree, but
I'll admit the only thing that I think holds him back from being like one of my favorites in general is his moveset leaves a little bit to be desired. You would definitely have to beef him up with some TMs to get him to where you want him to be. So he's not naturally a 10 out of 10. That's the only drawback I have to him.
Okay. How do you feel about him compared to Talonflame, Alex?
Talonflame. Which one is... I'm looking now. Oh, dude, no. Talonflame rules. I remember Talonflame. That Pokemon rules, man. That was Talonflame in Sun and Moon?
I think
originally?
so. That sounds right. It's either that or X and Y.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Toucannon was the bird in Sun and Moon, right?
Oh. Yeah, it's Gen 6.
6, so X and Y.
That's X and Y, yeah.
I could put it below Talonflame because I do not like Darmanitan at all.
But Galarian Darmanitan.
Yeah.
It's a snow yeti that keeps food in his head.
In the world. Put him anywhere in the world. I don't care.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, number 19 for a little fire centipede.
Yeah.
Little guy. Don't get near him, though. He's going to bite you.
Trying his best to be a dragon.
living his dragon dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, someone that doesn't have to live a dragon dream. Mega Rayquaza.
All right,
cool.
so I'm just gonna say
Drop the mic.
gut reaction. I have never been a huge fan of Rayquaza, and I think it's just because it's from a gen that I never really cared for. I feel like that gen was the first gen where I was like, all right, I don't get it. I don't get any of these designs. I think Pokemon's not for me anymore. But my gut reaction to this is like, this is way cooler. This makes his design like something that I can't even remotely deny is awesome.
Extremely badass.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool.
100%.
They add a lot more black in here. I don't remember if Rayquaza has black to begin with, but there's a lot more.
Very little.
Oh yeah.
He's got like on
Some lines.
his eyes, like it looks like, you know, blades, kind of the design next to his eyeball.
Yep.
He's just fucking cool.
Literally Dragon Balls almost in his body now. A lot more than 7, but little gemstones all over his body now. Those fire-looking whips that are coming out of his face.
So there's only one Pokedex entry that even mentions the Mega Evolution, and that's in Alpha Sapphire. It flies forever through the ozone layer, consuming meteoroids for sustenance. The many meteoroids in its body provide the energy it needs to Mega Evolve.
That is rad.
That's
Pretty goddamn metal. Yeah. I'm looking pretty high for Mega Rayquaza.
Yeah, same here.
Very.
I'm sorry, Typhlosion.
Oof, yeah.
As I pass him with my eyeball.
I mean, he's above, like... I'd put him at the number 3 spot, if I'm being honest.
Just below Mega Gengar?
Yeah.
I can live with that. Honestly, I would put him above that even. I might put him number 1 based on what we have right now. Personally.
I do like Galarian Articuno a lot. It's a great looking design.
That's fair.
I can't do Gengar dirty. I can't. I haven't been on this show that long to already betray Gengar.
Yeah, I mean, we still got Mega Garchomp coming in at some point that can
and there's Gigantamax Gengar too, so
yeah. Oh yeah, that's such a weird design. I like it.
Yeah, this one's definitely top 5 for me, area-wise.
I like this more than Mega Gengar.
Wow.
I'll concede. Yeah. I'll concede.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I have a lot of affection for Emerald. So
same.
Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald are the birthstones of my family. I'm Emerald. My mom is Ruby, and my dad's Sapphire. So like those games coming out, I played the ever-loving crap out of them, and I love Rayquaza, and Mega Rayquaza is just so good. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry,
Number
I
2.
didn't ask you, Ryan, below Galarian Articuno or above?
Let me look up a picture of Galarian Articuno right now.
It does look like a Phantom Thief from Persona 5. It's very cool.
Yeah.
It's such a good design.
Yeah, I think number 2 for Rayquaza. I really, really like that Galarian Articuno.
Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, my gut reaction was like, oh, that's too good for Pokemon.
Might be, honestly. I mean,
it's such a good design. I think the colors are really what makes it.
All right.
Excellent.
Well,
very good showing for Mega Rayquaza.
Yeah, number 2. Fantastic. Next up on the list, oh man, I have Graplocked. I was
top tier.
I did for a little bit. I was a little disappointed that they weren't fighting water.
Yeah. But it's a Luchador Octopus. It's great.
Great.
It's great.
It is good.
He knows submission. He
what
knows
type is
reversal.
It? Just fighting?
Fighting.
Oh,
fighting. That's it.
Okay.
It's called the Jujitsu Pokemon.
Just great.
Yeah, he's got one of his tentacles like wrapped around his belly as a belt. It's a good design. It's a really good design.
Yeah, great color combination. I love the wrestling mask look. or his face. Actually, maybe a mix between like a luchador mask and like a superhero mask almost for the design on his eyes. But just I just love him, and I love when you encounter him in the wild area how he's one of the very few that will like chase you down.
Yep. Yeah.
Aggressively. he's already got his arms out and he's just like, come here.
Yeah. That, I mean, with Shield's Pokedex entry here, searching for an opponent to test its skills against, it emerges onto land. Once the battle is over, it returns to the sea.
Literally, you know who else does that?
Tracks.
Godzilla. And Godzilla's awesome. So,
you know, good point, honestly. I mean, didn't consider that. And I doubt Godzilla's a water type, you know?
I would hope so. He knows
Probably
hyper
dragon and water.
Yeah. Is that what his fire breath is? His dragon pulse?
Must be, or dragon rage.
Dragon breath.
So
yeah, obvious answer.
What's some of these stats for Grapploct here? I mean,
I remember it makes
42. Yeah, 42 speed, 118 attack, 90 defense, 80 HP, moderately tanky, even 80 special defense. I could see this getting into like. I don't know. I was never in competitive, so I can't say for sure, but underused?
It would probably be underused, yeah. Low speed Pokemon almost never make it into overused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
So where do we compare it? Well, I fought pretty hard to get Hariyama as high as he is on the list. I think this is a better design than Hariyama. That's at number 30 right now.
Yeah.
My gut reaction is I want to put him near Machamp because they're both, you know,
kind of looked at that point too.
Grappling Pokemon.
Like more than Machamp, though, personally.
Yeah, I do too because Machamp is still classic, but I lean more towards Pokemon with these designs instead of the more humanoid-looking Pokemon.
Yeah.
And
more than Gorilla Drummer?
Actually, yeah. Gorilla Drummer is awesome, but like I feel like if this Pokemon came out like 6 gens ago, he'd be like classic to a lot of people.
Yeah, I could see that.
I just think what holds him back is he's slow. So he's one of those Pokemon where it's like great design, and he's really only on your team because you like how he looks. So the fact that he's not like a super great Pokemon technically is a little bit of a negative, but
the Japanese name is Octopus.
Octopus?
Why is that not his real name?
Why didn't they just call him Tossipus? That sounds amazing.
Octopus.
I love that.
Yeah, that's really good.
Number 1, just put it. Oh my gosh. I'd be okay with it. I mean, I'd be okay with him being above Machamp, but I would push it to be below Gyarados.
Okay. I want to go above Rillaboom. Gigantamax Rillaboom, to be clear.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay with
Sound
that.
good? Okay.
Yeah, that sounds great. Number 25. Dang good showing. Still, I mean, oh my god, the bottom of the list is 115.
Number.
Not in this list. Wait till we get there.
This Pokemon rules. This is the best fairy type in the game.
Yeah.
I love witchy looking Pokemon.
Hatterene. Psychic Fairy. I need to try this. I did not use one in my first run through Shield, so I do want to try one of these at some point because they do look fantastic.
They're very cool, very powerful. I think they're also a little on the slow side. I think this last gen was a lot on the slow side.
Slower than Grapploct with 29 speed.
Yeah.
But 136 special attack, and it's got the defense to take that hit with 103 special and 95 regular defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think this thing could move fast if it wanted to. It's just like, I'm not feeling it, you know? I'm just going to stand here. You got to fucking absorb this.
Yeah, if it gets hit, it can take it.
Yeah, it almost kind of looks like a freaky little alien thing inside of a human suit or something. Like it's got that little opening where you can see the little like tentacles below the head.
Mm-hmm.
The shield entry here.
Yes.
If you're too loud around it, you risk being torn apart by the claws on its tentacle. This Pokemon is also known as the Forest Witch.
That's so great.
And Chris, this may lower it in your esteem a little bit. It emits psychic power strong enough to cause headaches as a deterrent to the approach of others.
Hey, I'm gonna try to approach this thing anyway. It's fine.
I mean, if I had the ability to give people headaches and makes them stay away from me, I'd do it too.
That's true. I just need to be its friend, and then it won't give me headaches.
That's fair.
In my latest playthrough, one of the things that freaked me out was that, you know, when you look at the top, it looks like it's got the witch hat, but that's also its arm. So when it moved for a move, and it's like witch hat just became like a hand.
Yeah,
it freaked me out a little bit. Which honestly just adds to the overall vibe for it. I think it really helped it.
Yeah, I would put this right below Malamar, which is very high.
It's gonna push Typhlosion out of the top 10.
And it does give off that same kind of vibe as Malamar too.
But I think you're right
in terms of like design.
Yeah,
it's a good design.
It is.
I'd agree with it.
I love it. No arguments. My favorite.
No.
Just tears. No arguments. Just
saving
tears.
all. I'm saving.
Next up, a Pokemon that I have been saying the name wrong for years because I thought it was Igglypuff. It's Igglybuff.
Get swole.
The Dreamcast Pokemon.
There's one thing it has going for it, but otherwise, does anyone like this thing? Let's start there.
It's fine. I mean, it's as fine as Jigglypuff is, honestly. Like,
it's just one of it. I like it because it. My fond memories of it come with the fact that it came around when eggs and baby Pokemon were brand new, so that made it like cool and novel, purely because it was like it was part of a new mechanic.
Right.
And that was especially when I was younger. It's like, oh my god, what does Pikachu evolve from? What does Jigglypuff evolve from? You wanted to know that, so it was more about hashing the eggs and finding out than it was the actual Pokemon. And it really doesn't take a lot to evolve them, so it's not like you have an Igglybuff in your party for very long, if at all. So, I think as I'm talking it, I'm just kind of leading it down to the fact that it's more of like a gimmick Pokemon than anything.
Yeah, all those new baby Pokemon that they added are like, I don't know. I don't think any of them are better than their evolutions, except for Jinx's, because Jinx is the worst Pokemon ever made. But
I mean, outside of Pichu, are any of them even super memorable? Yeah.
Yeah, not really.
Not really. Well, Elekid, apparently, to some people, because he's got a plug on his head.
It's a good design.
It is.
That's true. Elekid and Magby. I like Magby as well.
I'm looking at these Pokedex entries. It just talks about a soft, plushy body, uses it to bounce around for movement. It gets pinker the warmer it gets. Nothing like stand out. Like, I'm thinking this isn't a baby Pokemon in the way we talk baby Pokemon, but Toxel, which is a Pokemon that is a baby as it wears a diaper.
I put it right above. I put it above Tangela as well. I actively dislike Tangela.
I'm okay with that because I see Quillfish is really low on your list, and I do kind of like Quillfish.
It's a fish that can't swim well.
Yeah,
but it's spiky.
There are a lot of those in Pokemon Snap too. I took a lot of pictures of them. So.
Yeah. And it sucks for them because they're in one of the most boring areas in Pokemon Snap, in my opinion. Because when you're in that undersea area, it just feels like it goes so slow because there's just nothing there.
I've been through that area only once, but I was expecting it to be way cooler, like where all the like Wailords suddenly coming out of nowhere and crap. I need that.
Oh, I love one of the greatest Pokemon of all time.
I love that they just went for it with Wailord.
I love that you can't get a good picture of it because it's so huge.
It's just that big.
Yeah, well, was it Pokemon Battle Revolution on the Wii? It was like it dwarfed your trainer. Like you would send it out and you could not see any of the other Pokemon on the field because it zoomed the camera out so far to fit all of Wailord. It was amazing.
Yeah, there's one on my team in Sword and Shield, and I Dynamax it every single time just because it's hilarious.
Anyways, Igglybuff sucks. So we're talking about Wailord because Igglybuff sucks. So let's
exactly. Next up, a Pokemon that I had to remember as I was making this list and putting tabs together tonight. Shaman.
Yeah,
look at that. Look at that. It's a hedgehog. That's great.
Crap, this is going to get really high up the list, isn't it?
It's a hedgehog with a flower. Look at that.
It is
it's adorable.
Flippin' adorable. And then its other form, its sky form, looks like an anime main character.
It looks, I'm not super high up. Like, I compared to its original form, the distance between how much I like the original form and the sky form would make you think I hate that sky form. But I love that this was the first legendary that looks like this. Like, it didn't look like mythical or otherworldly. It just looked like almost like a very Mother Earthy inspired. Just like it's just there. It helps things grow. It's not this Pokemon that's going to bring about the end of time or anything like that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it was like a Mew or Celebi or whatever where you couldn't get it in game. I think it was events only or hacker game.
Yeah.
So Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, you could get one at Flower Paradise if you had Oak's Letter, but everything else is an event Pokemon.
And which game was that?
Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum.
Oh, really? The one where it was introduced? I never even knew that. You could get it in the game.
Yep. If you have Oak's Letter at Flower Paradise. I don't know what all those
I'm guessing that's post-game.
Yeah, probably. I like in X and Omega Ruby Pokedex entries, it can dissolve toxins in the air to instantly transform ruined land into a lush field of flowers.
Again, environmentalist Pokemon.
Yeah.
Good thing.
Yeah.
It in Diamond and Pearl, or Diamond specifically, it lives in flower patches and avoids detection by curling up to look like a flowering plant. Literally just curls up into a little ball.
Becomes a flower.
Adorable. Perfect. Beautiful, sweet child.
Along the other lines of strictly adorable Pokemon, we've got like Rockruff at 44. I could go higher than that.
Rockruff. Sorry.
It's a little rock puppy.
Yeah, he's cute. In terms of other environmentalist Pokemon, Frostmoth at 31.
Yeah, you keep coming for it, man. You know what? If I could put Frostmoth and Shaman together, I wouldn't be mad about it. Great Pokemon. I realize adorableness only gets a Pokemon so high up the list.
To be fair, this thing does have 600 base stat in either form. It's got to be a solid Mon. It's just we don't have any hands-on time with it because it's not easy to get Mon.
Yeah. And I mean, because it has two forms, it has an adorable form, but it also has a pretty cool looking form, I think.
Yeah.
I like Shaman Sky a lot.
Yeah. That's like season 1 anime pro tag.
Yeah. Very much so.
Scrappy.
I like that it retains the flower too. On its neck.
Yeah, very much.
I'd go right above Frostmoth personally.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Number 31.
Very nice for a Pokemon none of us ever used.
That's right. Well, it is a gratitude Pokemon, so I'm sure it would be thankful that we got it where it was.
Yeah.
Next up on the list, someone I really don't want to thank me in any way, shape, or form because I'm sure it would be painful. Cacnea.
I don't like him. I don't like the way he's looking at me.
Yeah, he's pretty lame.
Yeah.
In new Pokemon Snap, like literally it can't move. You know, even Corsola has those little peg legs that can kind of walk on. This thing can only roll forward.
Yeah, it looks like somebody stuck in a mascot costume, and they can't get out.
You're making me want to play the new Pokemon Snap, y'all.
You should play it. It's a good time.
It's really fun. Yeah, he looks like a Burger King character. I don't know.
He's got a little crown. He thinks he's a king.
Yeah, you know, as soon as you said that, I'm like, you know what? If I were to relate a Pokemon to a fast food chain, this is absolutely Burger King. Which is my not go-to choice for a fast food.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
sorry, we're not getting that Burger King sponsorship money.
No.
Yeah, I mean, we already have his evolution Cacturn on the list low. Cacturn is way better than Cacnea.
Yeah, I'm looking down. Well, the only interesting thing, in the hundreds for sure. The only interesting thing on its Pokedex entry for me, because I love I love when Pokedex entries get specific in weird ways. It prefers harsh environments such as deserts. It can survive for 30 days on water stored in its body.
That's interesting, but I also think it's really funny that they repeat that fact in like 6 other Pokedex entries.
Yeah,
they couldn't come up with anything new to say about this Pokemon.
That's in Fire Red, Leaf Green, Diamond Pearl Platinum, Black White 2.
Oh, Jesus.
Y. It's like half of his Pokedex entries.
Yeah. You know what else retains water? Cactuses. He's just a cactus. They're just describing a cactus.
This is a cactus Pokemon.
I'm looking at like Remoraid territory for this guy.
You know, I kind of like Carkol more than I like this thing.
I think so.
I've been using a Carkol in my most recent run of Shield, and I'm feeling like we did Carkol dirty way back.
I think you did too, because Carkol rules.
Yeah, I don't know why he's so low. Who hated him? Who was on the show with us that hated him so much? Blame them.
Both of us, and I think Quo. Wasn't that like a episode 1?
Oh yeah, that was episode 1. No, check the tape. I loved him, but I probably said he was stupid or some shit. I don't know. I can't remember what I said 6 weeks ago. Kidding me? Yeah, below Carkol, how do we feel about Tauros?
Tauros is better. Gudra is better.
Gudra's way better.
What do you guys even do? Gudra is like a top 20 Pokemon.
I tried, Alex. I tried so hard.
20 Pokemon. My goodness.
Better hope Gudra don't hear that.
Yeah.
Probably can't. Got too much goo in his ears.
I like Togedemaru better too. Maybe put him over Swalot. Swalot actively sucks for sure. So does Cacnea, but
I'd put him above Quillfish. I like Rattata more.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, Rattata.
I'm also fine with that.
Rattata never let me down. Never judged me.
All right, Cacnea number 109.
Oof.
Good showing. Good showing.
Yeah, I mean, you're not bottom of the list. Next up, a Pokemon I have caught and used. Heatran.
This is a Digimon.
Yeah, it does look like a Digimon, doesn't it? Oh my god.
This isn't a Pokemon.
I don't really like his look. I don't think it's stands out. It's definitely not attractive. It's not like attractive. It's not cute. It's not cool. It's not really anything. It just is.
Heatran is a legendary Pokemon?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll just call anything legendary nowadays, won't they?
It's a low bar.
It really feels like a low bar now.
It dwells in volcanic caves. It digs in with cross-shaped feet to crawl on ceilings and walls. Diamond and Pearl. Its body is made of rugged steel. However, it is partially melted in spots because of its own heat. Platinum. I mean, this thing's killing itself. We got to put it out of its misery.
Yeah. I have used one of these, same as you, Ryan, because it is such a ridiculously easy legendary to catch compared to every other legendary. Like, this is a chump of a legendary.
Yep. And it's decent. Like, stat distribution wise, 130 special attack, 77 speed, 106 special and non-special defense, 91 health, 90 attack. Like it's a strong mon. But design is eh.
Eh.
Yeah, it looks like they were going for like a magma whale or something like that, and then they ruined it by adding legs. And it just looks really weird.
I see that.
And then they made it a spider.
Ugh.
Can walk on ceilings and walls.
I'll just say it below Ammonite.
I'm perfectly.
At least to get an Ammonite, you had to go to the museum.
Yeah, you know what? I'm okay with that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Fantastic.
Ryan, number 107.
Good showing from the whale spider.
I mean, as good as you can get, I suppose. Next up, just another opportunity for us to make some Mothra jokes. Moth him.
What is that face?
Hmm?
Look at that nose. What is this thing?
Oh.
Spoilers! God!
Spoilers! Oh god, I was just trying to zoom.
Does its little nose like split down the middle?
Kinda? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, oh yeah, it's like don't bugs have those like little feelers on the end of their nose or whatever that are split?
Oh yeah, it's a like rolls out. 100% male.
Oh yeah, because it either evolved into this or the other Pokemon, depending on if it was male or female. The other one was like a butter something.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like it was like Butterfree, but not Butterfree. This was Gen 3, right? Or 4?
Gen 4.
Okay.
Evolves from a male Burmy.
Yeah. I've never used this. I've never used the female one either. My brother has used the female one just because he likes butterflies, which is good for him. But I don't know. I don't like this.
Yeah, basically, every Pokedex entry talks about it stealing honey from Combi.
Yeah.
Whoa, fucked up.
I know I went to bat really hard for Frostmoth here, but like all of the moth-like Pokemon that are just like your run-of-the-mill, they're just a bug type, right? I feel like all of them after Butterfree just are unnecessary. Like I feel like with Butterfree, whenever I see it, I'm like, yep, they nailed it. Like that's that concept. Yeah, and the rest of these, I'm like, oh, I'd just rather have a Butterfree. I don't.
Yeah.
It just feels like rejects of the original design.
Yeah, I mean, even in that same gen, Venomoth feels like, well, I'd rather have a Butterfree.
And even then, Venomoth has a cooler connotation because Venomoth was from like the Ninja Gym leader, so at least it had character to it. This one is just, it's a flying bug.
His name is Motham because they're all hymns, and it's a moth.
Ugh,
yeah.
It's great. It's great, guys.
Boy, we really had a strong start to this episode, and then we just went to a bunch of little shits.
It's no Octopus, I'll say that. Its Japanese name is Gamail. Because Ga means moth and male means male.
I put it right below Tangela.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with right below Tangela, right above Toxel.
Putting something below Tangela feels like a punishment, and I just think that's funny.
All right, number 114. Lots of number 100s in here.
All right. Next up, this is... I don't know where I land on this Pokemon, but I don't hate it.
Yeah, he's trying.
Drapion?
I said Drapion.
Yeah, I said Drapion as well. I don't know what it's supposed to mean. Scorpion, obviously, but what is the draw?
Yeah.
It says it's an ogre scorpion Pokemon.
Let's see. I'm gonna look at their. So in Japanese, its name is Dorapion, which is from dragon. It means dragon, drastic, or Dracula, and scorpion. So it's got a lot to that name, apparently. And in other languages, apparently it just means like dragon, king, scorpion. So I guess the dra is for dragon.
Okay, I can see that. It's got kind of a dragony face a little bit. I don't like... I know Scorpion's hands are very high on their body, but I don't like because he's standing up, him having his arms on his head. It looks very dumb.
It's a confusing looking design, because if I'm looking at it, I want to... Because his arms are so high up, you're like, are his arms just a part of his head? And does that make the neck part his torso? Or is that his neck? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I'm seeing this Pokemon as a new thing now, and it's equally terrible. So, like, the 4 little legs on his... on the rounder part of him, I'm trying to look at it like that's his body, and then the long part is his neck, and then his head has 2 arms coming out of it.
I think that's legs, hips, and then torso.
It's so weird.
Yeah, I have always seen the neck thing as a torso, and I don't know. You might actually, God, if they just cut off his arms entirely and made that a neck, I think this would be a better looking Pokemon.
Or put them at the base of the neck.
Yeah. Or even like mid-neck shaft. Just no arms for ears, please.
Yeah, it's really weird having the arms at the very top of a Pokemon.
It's just a very clunky looking design. Like, I like the colors and everything. Like the pink and purple and like teal are all really good together. And I will say, in Pokemon Snap gave me a little bit of appreciation for this Pokemon, because it gave it like a lot of character in the stage it's in. But other than that,
I've only done that stage once, so I've not seen him yet. I've seen his first evolution, Scorpule or something like that.
Scurrupi.
Scurrupi, yeah.
Scurrupi. But I would never go... Like, every time I see this Pokemon in games, every time somebody throws it out, I'm like, oh yeah, this thing. But like, I never go looking for it or anything.
I don't like that its eyes are like coming out above its head too. That creeps me out. I don't like it. You have any good entries?
Fair. No one thing stands out. They all kind of talk about... Well, okay, one thing does stand out in Pearl. Its body is encased in a sturdy shell. Its head rotates 180 degrees, eliminating blind spots. But all the rest just talk about powerful clawed arms, like can make scrap of a car. They talk about the poison at the tip of its claws. They take pride in their strength. I guess it has a bad reputation because it attacks people that cross the desert.
Yeah. This is like around Cacturn territory for me.
Oh, wait, Shield, real quick, does have one. It's so vicious that it's called the Sand Demon, yet when confronted by Hippowdon, Drapion keeps a low profile and will never pick a fight.
Oh, yeah. Hippowdon kicks his ass. Come on.
Yeah, well, I think I like
I said
Alolan Graveler.
Yeah, I definitely want to go below Blipbug. I don't know how Cacturn ended up above Blipbug. We made a mistake. I would go below Chimecho, below Terrakion, below Sawaddle. I can keep going. Above Steenie, maybe. Steenie's completely forgettable. This thing I at least remembered existed, personally.
I remember Click-Clang existed, though.
That's true.
Is Clink-Clang the Gears Pokemon or the Keys Pokemon?
The Gears.
The Gears. The evolved Gears.
Ugh.
Yeah, the one that is literally Clink and Cling.
Again, another Pokemon where I'm like, we already had Magnemite. I don't know why we need this.
Yeah.
Because it's 700 Pokemon later and we don't know what else to do.
That's fair.
What about Gorbis?
Goribus?
Yeah. The mermaid
this guy's
thing.
Yeah, I'd put him above it. Right above it.
I think right above Goribus,
right above it, I think works.
It can go right there in the designs that don't make sense category.
It's perfect.
All right, Drapion number 91.
There we go. About as good as it could do. That does the list of 20 Pokemon that the Science Machine throws at my face every Thursday evening. Alex, you have brought a Pokemon with you.
Oh, I have brought the Pokemon with me. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest Pokemon of all time, Murkrow.
Very good Pokemon.
He's a crow that looks like a witch's broom. It's great.
It's very
great,
cool.
man.
I love this Pokemon so much.
Well, tell us all about why you love it before we say it.
It's really like it's hard to pin down, but it's just one of those. It was one of those favorites where like I think what I found cool about him was I think he was one of the first Pokemon I really wanted to track down in the day and night cycle in Gold and Silver, which was a totally brand new thing. But I've always been drawn to like the the spooky creepy Pokemon like ghost types like Gengar and stuff, and I love this Pokemon because it's literally just it's a crow. I love crows. I love ravens and birds like that. And but it's also wearing a little witch's hat, and its tail is a little witch's broom. It's great. It's all the things that I would want from a spooky witchy Pokemon that lives in the woods and only comes out at night.
It does feel like a great way in a simple fashion to pull out from a crow what they want. You know, they didn't have to like add a bunch of things to this animal. They just kind of tweaked where the feathers flow a little bit.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And I think it's it definitely invokes like what they're going for in terms of like I'm saying, you know, it's silhouette resembles a witch on a broom, but it's a bird. You know, it feels like they were like, hey, what if we took a crow and made it a Pokemon? And I think those are some of the best early designs, is when they don't stray too far from the animal that they're trying to base it on.
Yeah, I like that they don't stray far, but they still do something interesting with it. I don't like the ones that don't stray at all. Like, you know, a Tauros. It's just like that's just the animal. They didn't really do anything with it.
It's just a bull.
But yeah, the fact that this is a witch broom is very cool.
And again, you can only get one at night, which is also, you know, I feel like really invokes that style they're going for with it.
Yeah, and it was also one of the first dark types. Only a handful of those. Where do you fall on this isn't really relevant to ranking this one, but on Honchkrow?
I like Honchkrow well enough. A lot of the times when I'm able to get a Murkrow and a Honchkrow in the same game, I know on Sun and Moon I had a team that were I had 2 Murkrows and 1 Honchkrow on my team. And the Honchkrow was named Edgar, and then I had a boy and girl Murkrow named Alan and Poe.
That's good.
That's fun.
That's good.
So yeah, that was always fun. I like Murkrow better, but I think it's also got a lot to do with that Pokemon's just been around longer, you know.
Nostalgia factor.
And Honchkrow did come in during a gen where I wasn't, you know, really super active playing Pokemon, but I do like that design. It's interesting that they went for a mob boss design from the Witch's Broom Pokemon.
Yeah, but
it still works for me.
See, my first thought looking at Honchkrow is Bloodborne for some reason, and but they call him the Big Boss Pokemon, and that just makes me think of Metal Gear, and now I'm confused. Pokemon.
I think Murkrow also has one of the cooler sounding Japanese names, which is Yamakarasu, which is a combination of Yami, which is dark, and Karasu, which is crow. So two very simple words. They literally just named it Dark Crow, but it sounds really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds almost like Yamaterasu, which is like a legendary sword in a lot of JRPGs and shit. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love this little Pokemon. I love that its hidden ability is called Prankster. And that its ability is insomnia. So it's just one of those things where all the abilities are. I feel like this is one of those Pokemon where obviously it's not one of the bigger ones that everybody thinks of when they think of these games, but I think it's one of those ones where it's like Game Freak at their best, where they make sure that all the moves and abilities and little things of a Pokemon play into its character.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that feeds back with some of these Pokedex entries. Like Moon here talks about, seen as a symbol of bad luck, it's generally disliked, yet it gives presents, objects that sparkle or shine, to trainers it's close to. So it goes around stealing coins, rings, earrings from people, and comes back, gives it to its trainer, which definitely plays in with that trickster-y, prankster vibe.
Yeah, my favorite Pokedex entry for Murkrow is from Crystal, which is it hides any shiny object it finds in a secret location. Murkrow and Meowth loot one another's stashes. So that gives like a great imagery to me there of Murkrow and Meowth like having gang wars of just stealing shiny objects from each other.
That's where Honchkrow comes from. You gotta have a gang boss to keep the Meowths out.
One main Honchkrow, one main Persian.
Oh my god, that would be such a good show.
Yes, I would watch that.
I'd watch at least 3 seasons of it. I mean,
and I think it's got like for its stats, I think it's not. Obviously, I'm clearly biased because it's my favorite Pokemon, but stats-wise, it's not super bad for like a base level bird Pokemon.
Yeah, that it came out with no evolutions, not having a prior form. The fact that it's got 91 speed, 85 attack, 85 special attack. It may not be able to take a lot of hits, but it can get some hits in quick.
Yeah,
deal decent damage doing it, and get out.
Exactly. Yeah, especially with some of those dark type moves, it can always guarantee it'll get the hit in first.
Right. Yeah.
So, on the list, we've got to definitely ask the question of Sirfetch'd or Murkrow.
Yeah, I agree. It should be number 1. I like Sirfetch'd's design a lot. Sirfetch'd is one of these Pokemon where I'm like, I don't see the need to improve on Farfetch'd, because that's a Pokemon where I'm like, great design, 10 out of 10, knocked it out of the park. But when they did it, I still had to concede, like, all right, well, Sirfetch'd is still a really good design. Yeah. It's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know why you had to do it, but it's not worse for it existing.
I think they needed it for the sheer fact that Farfetch'd needed an evolution. Much like Murkrow did when they made Honchkrow,
Fair enough.
I feel like I'd rather use Sirfetch'd because he's going to be more effective, but I see where you're coming from with Farfetch'd design.
Yeah. It's one of those classic Pokemon where it's just an iconic look to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the idea of him being in that Sirfetch'd area. I don't know how I feel about Hippowdon, but Hippowdon,
yeah. I think, yeah, but after seeing all of them running through the desert, that doesn't do nothing for you. Half of them sleeping, just laying about.
I mean, in the very first stage, I've got Murkrow flying at me in Pokemon Snap, so I mean,
that's true.
I didn't even have to go to the desert for that. I mean, I know I'm pushing my luck by saying I want it to be next to Typhlosion because those are 2 of the best Pokemon ever. But if it were with Sirfetch'd, I don't think I would complain.
Okay, I would put it directly below Sirfetch'd, but I'm just one person. What are you feeling, Ryan?
I could go as high as directly below Typhlosion, honestly. And I don't think it goes any lower than directly below Sirfetch'd.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm looking at number 16. You're looking at number 12. And Alex is looking at number 1. So I think we go directly above Typhlosion. I know. I'm just fucking with you, Ryan. I just know how much you love that Pokemon.
I can see that look of, oh god, it's backfired.
Tyrantrum is a giant T-Rex, but I feel like
Tyrantrum does rule. Yeah. I'd be okay with it being between Tyrantrum and Sirfetch'd.
Okay.
Okay,
you're
yeah,
right.
I think that's good.
Tyrantrum is a giant T-Rex. And I realized number 15 is not a bad spot for a for a non-evolved crow.
Murkrow is a great Pokemon.
It is.
And I think it is a lot of people's introduction to the Dark type, which is such a strong type for the rest of Pokemon's history.
Yeah, it was essential.
Umbreon.
Yeah, I mean, the other Dark type
like
you might
Umbreon?
be exposed to is Umbreon.
I love Umbreon so much. I just am always so disappointed whenever I have it on my team, because every time I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm going to fight with my Umbreon. I can't wait. And then it gets one-shotted by, like, almost everything that's ever existed. And I'm like,
that's fair.
Okay, well.
Yeah,
and I think the reason...
for sure.
Yeah. I think the reason I would lean Murkrow in that fight between Umbreon and Murkrow is I get the flying advantage, too. I tend to lean towards 2-type Pokemon so I can get more type coverage.
Oh yeah, and if I remember correctly, Honchkrow learns Brave Bird, I think.
Oh,
so that
shit.
I mean
That sounds right.
Yeah, so it's that's a one-hit move right there.
Absolutely. All right, well that is all the Pokemon we have to rank tonight. We were submitted a question though. One question by the lovely Rob Hudak on Draft Punks. He writes in, I know y'all have made mention that, besides legendaries, you're of the opinion that every Pokemon should have an evolution. Outside of the rankings for this show, where you ultimately weigh an individual Pokemon roughly on its own merits, detached from those evolutions, do you prefer a Pokemon to have 2 evolutions or 3? I think it means a 2-stager or a 3-stager. I've always been partial to 3-stage Pokemon, in part because they served as a good emotional reflection of investment in something and are not unlike seeing the stages of development in one's child, which I figure is kind of what the designers are going for. Anyway, great pod, and fuck you all for getting me back into Pokemon.
Yeah, I prefer 3-stage as well, mostly because usually if it's a 3-stage, you can catch it pretty early, unless it's like one of those dragons. But a lot of them you can catch early, and then you get to see the mid-evolution, somewhere around the 2nd, 3rd gym area, and you've still got another evolution to look forward to closer to the end of the game. Whereas a lot of the 2-stage evolutions, either they're like, a Linoon and they evolve super early, and then that's just what you get, or they're like super late, like I think Macargo even is like 42 or something like that. And you're right. You have that first evolution for a really long time, and those first evolutions are usually pretty weak.
Yeah, I like the 3-stage Pokemon a lot, especially because a lot of them just generally always seem to be quality Pokemon. It's always going to be your starters. And like you were saying with those dragons at the end, I feel like those are always really good because they're representative of where you're at in the game, in the sense of like you get this Pokemon that you really have to grind out to get up there, and by the time you get like a Dratini or Larvitar, you probably have already got like 40s and 50s as your Pokemon. So it shows like that you're starting that process all over again with that dedication. And I like that they are few and far between as well. I think that makes them feel like more of an accomplishment than just a Pokemon like, oh, I caught this Pokemon and like 12 levels later it's at its final form, because that also feels like it cuts your build up with that Pokemon short a little bit.
Yeah, I also tend to lean 3-stage evolutions. There's a handful of 2-stagers. I'll always grab a Quagsire in Gen 2 for a lot of. Well, it's a great water type to have early game, and then when you want to replace it, it can learn Surf, Whirlpool, Waterfall, and Flash. It's a great HM Pokemon to have on your team for later exploration. But yeah, for the Pokemon I really want in my fighting team, most of them are 3-stagers.
Follow-up question for you guys. Do you ever catch any Pokemon that are already at their 2nd or 3rd evolution stage? Because I refuse to do that. I always start at the 1st stage.
I guess I do too, yeah.
Yeah, the only time I've ever done that was in Sword and Shield. because of the wild area.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it's mainly just kind of a novelty that, you know, I can hop in the wild area and be like, oh my god, there's a Gengar right there. You know, that's really about it. And that's the only time I would put one on my team too. And I guess in Gengar's case, that's a special case because it's a pain to, you know, obtain one the real way.
It can be. Yeah.
But I caught a Tyranitar the same way. But the one that's on my team is one that I had since it was a Larvitar. So I've only caught when they're at their stage 3, like, actually, yeah, only in Sword and Shield, just because of the novelty of the wild area to see all these really high power Pokemon just walking around.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, that's another episode of us ranking Pokemon. Alex, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Yes.
Hey, thank you guys for having me. It's been a blast.
Oh, it was so much fun. Do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Clobberintime. That's with a THYME. If you want to see me post any of my graphic design work, or well, you know, see me complain about wrestling. That's pretty much about it.
And he's knowledgeable about wrestling, and his graphic design is phenomenal, folks.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's really good, man. I love those VHS covers you make. Really good.
I'll do a parody of the birds, but it's nothing but Murkrow.
I can't wait for that stream. Chris, what do we have to plug?
What do we have to plug? Let's see. We are, by the time this episode comes out, we have just recorded the first episode of Resident Evil Villages Exploration. So get in for episode 2. We're going to play to the end of the game, and you can write in whatever you want. But we have not recorded the first episode of Death Stranding yet. If you're looking to write in for that, you have until, when are you guys recording? The 27th?
27th, yes.
Excellent. So get your comments in before then. But then every Wednesday I am streaming Resident Evil games. I'm on Resident Evil 2 Remake right now. Actually, by the time you're listening to this, I'm probably done with Resident Evil 2 Remake, and I'm on to Resident Evil 3. And then, Ryan, you're playing Pokemon on Tuesdays.
That's right. Yeah, every Tuesday. We finally made it out of Pokemon Yellow and started Crystal. I had to restart Crystal on my off time. I now have the game running in normal time with audio. It's amazing, folks, what technology will do these days. So yeah, I'm really excited to get back to my favorite and the objectively best generation of Pokemon, Gen 2.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, that just about wraps it up for us on this episode.
And
until next week.
Sorry, that's all at twitch.tv/spelunkers. We didn't say that.
You're right. Yeah, we should say that. And the podcasts are on anywhere you find the Spelunkers. Exactly where you're listening to this podcast right now.
Mm-hmm.
Until next week, everyone, I hope you are all well. We will see you next time when the science machine gives me another black eye. Until next time, gotta rank 'em all.
Gotta rank 'em all, Pokemon.